Would you try that?
I'm just curious. I'm
Go
just trying to
together.
visualize. Okay, so you got a cup, Bloody Mary, and then you have a lobster
Yeah, on top.
on top of the cup, a straw through the lobster.
It's probably like holding it in its claw or something.
I never let an opportunity go by where I don't eat just about everything I can stand to eat while I'm there. So
Yeah, pizza bagels,
Campbell's popcorn, the dichotomy popcorn.
They have these kiosks or something where you can go up to it. I don't know if you scan it or hit something, but basically you can send a request if they don't have something or if you want them to get something, and it'll, I guess, go to whoever management, and then they'll look into. I'm Josh Duke.
And I'm Alex Darus.
And you're either listening to or watching Dine Drink CLE, the podcast, where each and every week we are going to be joined by cleveland.com's best and brightest food experts, insiders, and influencers. What are we talking about today, Alex?
There's a lot going on, even though it's cold outside. The food news is really hot. So recently we had the new Meijer open in the Fairfax neighborhood, which is a super cool new local grocery store, very important area. We're going to be talking about Bloody Marys because I don't know if you know this, but January 1st was National Bloody Mary Day. So I did a little digging in Bloody Marys around town, and then we're going to talk to Chakerian a little more about classically eats, this time with the West Side Market. So
yeah, but first, to get us kicked off, we have Paris Wolfe here, and she's going to talk a little bit about Fairfax Market, a new local grocery store that's kind of shaking up the Cleveland area.
Well, the market opened on Tuesday last week, about a week ago, and it's a 40,000 square foot space, which is a regular Meijer is about 160,000, so it's a lot smaller. They have about 150 local vendors with about 2,000 products, so people from around Cleveland, and they have shelf tags that call out if it's a local company, Black-owned, woman-owned businesses.
That's cool.
So you know what you're buying.
And why is it like this specific opening feels so buzzy? Like the location?
Part of it's the location because it was a food desert. It's a place where they desperately need a grocery store. It's a good store. The prices are reasonable, just comparable to anything in the suburbs.
Yeah. And it's like basically by the Cleveland Clinic main campus.
Yes. Right on the edge.
Yeah. So I know Josh got to visit there too. I haven't been yet, but what did you think of it, Josh?
Yeah, I thought it was really, really awesome. Something that just stood out aesthetically, just walking in. It has a lot of Cleveland, I wouldn't say memorabilia, but
swag.
Yes, swag. Like they have a map of the area, the 105th and Cedar street layout as a design above one section, and just stuff like that kind of just calls out like, hey, this is our community, and they kind of back that up with a lot of their local items and vendors that they have selling their stuff there. So I thought it was really, really cool. I like how it's not just like a grocery store. There's a cafe in there. There's a sushi bar. Yeah. There's a floral shop, I believe. Just so much like
Big Mouth Donuts.
Yes, the Big Mouth Donuts. So just anything you're looking for, especially if it has like a local angle, local tie, it's probably there. And I just really love that. And another thing that stood out to me, they have these kiosks or something where you can go up to it. I don't know if you scan it or hit something, but basically you can send a request if they don't have something or if you want them to get something, and it'll, I guess, go to whoever management, and then they'll look into, the
Meijer gods.
Yeah, the Meijer gods, and they'll look into putting that out there. So for me, like, if I was just like somebody who shop there regularly, that would be super, super helpful. But yeah.
No, I think it's really cool too, because obviously like they needed a grocery store in the area, but the fact that they turned it into first a Meijer, which like I feel like is a more reasonably priced grocery store. I know they have a few in the area, but then also with the emphasis on the local business, because it's like you're not just bringing fresh fruits and vegetables to the area, you're bringing a bunch of locally made stuff too.
I hope that the locally made translates into suburban markets as well.
Oh, that would be awesome.
I think it would be.
Yeah. No, I one thing you mentioned is they have a lot of local wine and stuff too. Like it's not
they
even just
do,
the food.
And not just the ones that everybody knows about, but it's some obscure, really micro wineries, micro sourcing.
Yeah, no, that seems very unusual. I guess one thing that seems to be people are talking about is the parking situation. I know that Paris, they're supposed to be opening a parking deck.
The parking deck is 3 stories, but only the bottom level is open. The good thing is when the whole thing is open, the first 90 minutes of parking are free.
Okay, so it actually, makes sense because right now it's not the easiest area to get
No,
a straight
it's not.
spot.
Are they like constructing the top levels or?
Oh yeah, they just need to finish the ramp.
Gotcha.
I'm sure the weather hasn't been helping them the construction situation.
Right.
But otherwise, it seems like a really great. I mean, no complaints about it. Then really,
No,
Yeah.
it's been a nice store. I mean, they have a lot of international foods, and they have 20 linear feet of vegan
wow.
products as well, and nice products.
Yeah, and when I was there, the manager, I can't recall,
Alan Jacob.
Yeah, Alan. He pointed out one of their aisles is literally just dedicated to international products. I didn't go down it, so I can't really call
It's
it.
nice.
Yeah, it's nice. Yeah, and I just thought that was really cool because you got this. It's like a local store, but it also has a tie because we are a diverse community, right? So obviously people are gonna be wanting things from all over, and so I thought that was a really nice little tie in there
Especially
too.
the location too, with it being like by the clinic and stuff. It's just like you get so many different people in that area, too.
Right.
But I'm sure Paris and I probably approach a grocery store in a similar way, where it's like a toy store or something. Like,
That would be
we can
true.
spend,
That's
like,
why I
2
took
hours in the grocery store.
my Sunday afternoon to check it out again.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and they're also, I think they're also doing like community events, like cooking classes, culinary
That'd
events.
be cool.
Yeah, so that's going to be really cool too, just for anybody in the area. So just so much that they're doing to position themselves as a community sort of resource. I love it.
I definitely have to go check it out, but I've been a little busy recently tasting Bloody Marys. Like I said, the first is National Bloody Mary Day. It seems like with football playoffs and this kind of time of year, people do drink a lot of Bloody Marys, their brunches and stuff. So I think I got a total of 18 of the best Bloody Marys in Greater Cleveland. Some of them kind of the Bloody Mary bars where you build it yourself, and other ones have more unique ingredients. But I guess, Paris, what do you look for in a Bloody Mary? Like, what do you like about it? Or
Well,
a well-made Bloody Mary?
Yeah, my big thing is, as you know, is the new dill vodka by Lake Erie Distillery.
Yeah.
And then making it
And
at
that's
home.
a pickle vodka.
Yes, a dill pickle vodka.
And you just
yes.
mix it with.
Just a Bloody Mary mix.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like to buy something local if I can, one of the locally made ones like Pope's or Fred Hot.
Yeah. Have you tried what's it called? The Natural Blonde. It's a yellow tomato Bloody Mary. They have it at Taps and Tails, the dog bar, but they make their Bloody Mary with it. And it's really good.
Is it at retail?
I think you can buy it in stores too. And I just have only really had it there, but yeah, it's like a yellow orange, like lighter.
It's a little lower acidity.
Yeah, that's why I think
Mhm,
I'd probably like it that way too.
I would too. I
Because
would
sometimes
too.
you get a heartburn. Do you like Bloody Marys, Josh?
I would say no, but I really haven't ever tried one. So it's like, it's kind of,
Really?
yeah, I've always thought of it as like tomato alcohol. I don't know. I don't even
It's
know
a
what
salad.
it is.
Tomato juice.
It's
yeah,
healthy.
that sounds
It's a salad.
disgusting.
Like a
Like,
salad.
why would you want a salad as an alcoholic drink?
Savory drinks are good. I like it. What do they call it? A Bloody Maria. That's with tequila.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
They do a couple different ones.
Still like tomato based, or
yeah,
is
there's tomato juice.
Oh.
There's tomato juice in every Bloody Mary.
I mean,
What did you think made it a Bloody Mary?
well, I assumed it was tomato juice. That's why I stayed away from
Tomato
it.
juice, vodka, horseradish.
That none of that sounds appetizing
at,
together as
Blue
a
Heron
as a
and
drink.
Medina. Maybe this would they entice you. At Blue Heron, they have a loaded Bloody Mary, and it has so much stuff on it. You don't even need to order food. I think it has a double cheeseburger, shrimp cocktail, a giant soft pretzel. Like,
How do they balance
Like,
that?
yeah,
on the
I'm like,
glass?
wait, hold on.
It's
Yeah.
quite worth looking on their Instagram to see what they look like. But they're huge. Like, and sometimes, like, I don't know. Some people look for the huge toppings on all the Bloody Mary. Sometimes I feel like it goes a little too far. Like, I don't know. At that point, you're not going out to eat. You're going out for one drink.
Because it's funny you say this, because I was gonna ask you, what would a specialty like Bloody Mary look like? And that it sounds like that. And it just sounds like a whole meal, a whole lunch.
Yeah. I mean, one of my favorite, I like the West Side Market Bloody Mary because they put like a little sausage and cheese and olives and stuff, and it's all from the market, and it's kind of like classic. It also, I think, the experience of eating at the West Side Market Cafe adds to that too at the breakfast counter. But they make a really good Bloody Mary there.
Cool. So for Bloody Mary virgins, I guess, like me, I guess you recommend not going all crazy with the specialty one, something more tame.
Yeah, but you have to have a good mix because a lot of them, like, if a bar just makes it with kind of an average mix and they don't like spice it up a little bit, it's like you're not gonna like it. But honestly, if you like pickles, with the pickle vodka is delicious. Like, it just makes sense.
You know, I tried, this was like a while ago, like maybe October, November, I don't even know, but Pickle Fest, they had a lot of pickle-based drinks, which also sounds like something that I would not try, but I thoroughly enjoyed it.
What did you try?
It was a pickle margarita.
I think that was from the Lake Erie Distillery.
Probably.
They made I know they make a pickle lemonade where they literally mix pickle vodka and lemonade, which sounds weird, but I'm like, that would be refreshing.
Yeah. It was surprising how many pickle items I tried that were actually good that I would never have ever.
Are you a pickle person?
Yeah, I mean, I like pickles. They're pretty healthy. I don't have any problems with no beef with pickles at all.
You won't just eat, like, you're not the person who stands in the fridge door and eats a jar of pickles.
You know what? I have on a diet. Like, that's a good thing. On a
diet.
Diet.
Vinegar is my favorite food group of vinegary foods. Give me mustard and pickles and everything like that.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like pickles are super healthy. I think they have very, 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 very low everything calories. I don't even know
no
carbs.
Zero, almost 0 calories. Yeah,
so that's a really good snack item when you're really, really hungry, but on a diet, you just go ham, go crazy.
We are different, but I guess it ends up the same because I'm also eating pickles in the fridge door. But yeah, I guess one other place that this isn't a regular thing, but at Gibbs Butcher and Brews, they had a Bloody Mary that had a 1 pound lobster on top. Would you try that?
I'm just trying to visualize. Okay, so you got a cup Bloody Mary, and then you have a lobster.
Yeah, on top. On
top of the cup, a straw through the lobster.
It's probably like holding it in its claw or something.
What? No.
I don't know. It's crazy. Well, no, actually, I'm going to say, if you are going to do a Bloody Mary for the first time, you need to go somewhere like Market and Rocky River. I know the Burntwood Taverns do it. Touch Supper Club, where they have the bars where you can kind of like try it. And then if you don't like it, you can add more or try the different mixes and stuff. Because then you can make it your own. And there's so many of the bars too. And I don't think you should start with a double cheeseburger Bloody Mary.
No.
Or go to the West Side Market. Like I said, the West Side Market Cafe is delicious. So,
Speaking of the West Side Market, now we have Peter Chakerian here, who's going to talk a little bit about some of the sweets and treats at the market that has been included on your Classic Cleveland Eats column. Welcome, Pete.
Thanks. I appreciate it.
Yeah, so I know this week you did kind of the West Side Market snacks, like all the foods that when you're grocery shopping and then you get hungry, you grab. So what were a few standouts for you when you're kind of looking back?
Well, I think you always have to start off with a Frank's Brat, the brown mustard. I know a lot of people like the hard roll. I prefer a soft roll myself, but you probably could have a whole podcast on debating the merits of which kind of roll is better. But Steve Zeros are wonderful. They are gigantic, and I usually go with a double meat order on mine. And the tzatziki sauce is fantastic.
Yeah, that's one place that's always worth having cash for, is to get a gyro.
For sure. And the column ended up being as much a reflection of how important the West Side Market is to me personally as a born, raised, lifelong Clevelander. And, they're kind of in a transitional phase right now with the corporation coming in to sort of reevaluate and reassess how they're going to continue to run the business. So I think that was sort of weighing on my mind a little bit too. I really want to see them succeed in that process. We have 111 years of history in that place, and I just hope that it continues. And there's a lot of things they could do to sort of, I don't want to say jazz up what they're offering, but certainly that's a part of it.
Oh, yeah. It sounds like in the plan they are hoping to expand the kind of ready to eat food items, but like, I mean, I think your column pointed out, it's like we've always had that. And it's like you said, other cities would want to build something like that, but we've had it for 111 years with this great local resource. So,
well, I will say for myself, I never let an opportunity go by where I don't eat just about everything I can stand to eat while I'm there. So
yeah, pizza bagels,
Campbell's popcorn, the dichotomy popcorn. I didn't even really mention it in the column because I sort of want to tackle that a little bit separately. But yeah, I mean, there are just so many wonderful things to eat there. And I was glad that you brought up the Westside Market Cafe too. I love going in there, love going in there for breakfast and seeing people come out from the steel mills of third shift. They sit down, have breakfast with a beer, and then, go home and go to bed. It's like
the best thing ever.
It's such a quintessentially Cleveland experience too. Like if you haven't done that, if you haven't had that experience, it's kind of like, going to the Raleigh Inn after going to the Christmas Story House. Like you have to do certain things as a Clevelander. You just have to experience at least once.
No,
and
for
from
sure.
my perspective, that's right up there.
Yeah, especially sitting at the counter there. And I always say, like, they have, which I've eaten like everything on the breakfast menu there, but just their plain like bacon, egg, and cheese on a roll. Like, because the bacon, they get like the spicy bacon and stuff. And it is like the best breakfast sandwich ever. Another favorite of mine too is the Khrushchev. Do you know what I'm trying to say? The jerky, the famous jerky that Michael Simon always talks about. But that's a must snack for me every time I go too.
Oh yeah, I love that.
Yeah, it sounds like there's no shortage of, especially when you talk about the history, 100 plus years, right? How do you, as a writer that has to condense that into, something that people can read, how do you pick like what to call out as far as the favorites of?
I don't necessarily know that there's a right or a wrong way to do it. What I did was sort of dip back into my memories, particularly being a college student here in Cleveland. A lot of people that I went to school with, high school with, they went to other places for their college education. I didn't have the, financial wherewithal to be able to follow folks to, Ohio State per se. So I went to Cleveland State University and really had a great experience there. But I think what made Cleveland State such a great experience for me personally was because the city was the campus. Yeah. So you're not separate from it. And so, maybe you could run up to Short North or something when you're, in Columbus and kind of have a fun little experience. But, the equivalent would be to, jump on the RTA and roll, down to 25th.
Yeah.
And what a great experience to be able to have.
One thing I did want to ask from your column that you mentioned your Monday night dinner things. What would you guys make when you're in college? What was your Monday night specials from the Westside Market?
It was really interesting. We did all manner of things. A lot of times it was pierogies and like pork shoulder with kraut. It was like real hearty stick to your ribs type food. Yeah. So yeah, I mean that was really sort of where we tended to go. So I'm trying to think of some of the other dishes. I know we did, one time we did a massive pot pie. Every week was different though. And we all kind of bonded over that. And that seems like a really strange thing for college students to kind of bond over. But, that's the benefit of having a place like the Westside Market so close to campus.
Yeah, normally they're bonding over ramen noodles and making that.
Eating at the dining hall, that's way better.
Right.
But also I was going to say too, with the, when you shop at the Westside Market, it's just kind of like you want to cook. It makes you want to cook. You see everything and you just kind of, what can I make with these things that look good today? So that would be fun to do with like a group to have that.
For certain. And actually that was, ultimately like we got together several years ago and started to revisit some of those dinners that we had, and actually was able to come up with I'm totally stumbling over my tongue. Doing an ice cream float with Edmund Fitzgerald Porter from Great Lakes across the street. And then a little bit further down the street, you've got Mitchell's now, obviously. So, a little scoop of caramel sea salt ice cream floated on the top too. And so it was like we were sort of boomeranging back around with this new sort of round of what's going on West 25th. It was a fun little conversation.
You have to do a column with those recipes.
I might just do that.
Yeah.
I might just do that.
Is the float good with the Edmund Fitzgerald?
It is. It's definitely got a sweetness, a subtle sweetness from the beer, and that caramel sort of gives you a little bit of earthiness too. So it's interesting. It's not a super sweet float.
Yeah, not like a root beer float.
No, but it's awesome.
No, that sounds really. I can't believe I've never thought of that before, but that's a really good idea. Yeah, it sounds like Josh needs a little market day. So
yeah, I would say
through
so.
On a little field trip.
We should do that. That'd be a
fun,
blast.
Yeah. Let's do a tour. That would actually be really. Yeah, go ahead, set that up, Alex.
Okay, I'm on it.
I would love that. I just I'm super excited for what the future holds for that place, and I really do hope that Rosemary Moudry and the rest of the staff that they've pulled together for that development corporation are going to be able to find some ways to modernize and
preserve it,
but preserve it in a way that is meaningful to a new generation of people, while subsequently keeping that historic connection and that that dynamite vibe that's always been there.
Yeah, and I think in your column you made a really good comparison about it, how they redid Edgewater and kind of made it like it's still Edgewater that it's always been, but they revitalized it and that kind of thing. I think that was a good comparison.
And you do, thank you. And you have to give props to the Cleveland Metro Parks for having had a hand in making Edgewater what it is, definitely bringing it up to the 21st century. I really think that this corporation can do that for the market. And I think, it's going to be interesting for all of us to watch.
Thank you for listening to and watching the Dine Drink CLE podcast. Make sure to like, subscribe, and follow us at Dine Drink CLE on your favorite podcast platform. Follow us on Instagram at Dine Drink CLE and subscribe to our newsletter at cleveland.com/newsletters. Thank you.